This is the best armor you can get in the latest version of Minecraft. You might have something similar to this in your world, but what is the strongest set of armor and tools you could possibly make in all of Minecraft history? Everyone knows you can't put Mending and Infinity on the same bow, or combine all of the different kinds of protection together, but what if I told you that you could? From enchanted horse armor, to one pair of boots with 10 enchantments on them. This is how to get the best possible set of armor and tools you can make in all of Minecraft history. Our journey begins in release 1.9 with our first item on the list, the bow. In 1.9, something game-changing was added, and that was Mending. Mending allows you to repair your tools and armor through XP alone, but as we all know, when it comes to the bow, Mending and Infinity are exclusive enchantments, meaning both can't be put onto the same bow. Otherwise you would have an infinite ammunition, infinite durability bow, and that would be definitely overpowered. But due to an oversight, from release 1.9 all the way to 1.11.1, this was not the case, and you were able to apply both enchantments to the same bow. Combined with Unbreaking 3, Power 5, Flame, and Punch 2, you can have the strongest bow in Minecraft, that will never run out of arrows, and should never break if you're careful. Now of course at any stage throughout this video, if there's any enchantment that you don't want, you can always leave it out as you wish. But this is the max bow you can possibly get in Minecraft. Next, you're going to want to update to release 1.14. This is where the majority of the work is going to happen, as in this version there was a bug that allowed every kind of protection to be stacked onto the same armor, to create what people call God armor. This allows you to have the maximum protection, no matter the situation. Now because of the too expensive mechanic when it comes to combining books and armor in the anvil, there is a particular way you have to combine the enchantments in order to fit them all on without it being too expensive. So I'm going to go through every single one now and tell you the exact order in which you have to put enchantments onto the armor. On screen is each of the armor types and all of the books you'll need for each. Now let's go through how to combine them. For the helmet, you want to combine the helmet and Unbreaking 3, then Thorns 3 with Aqua Affinity, Projectile Protection 4 and Mending, Blast Protection 4 and Fire Protection 4, and finally Respiration 3 with Protection 4. From there you're going to combine the Thorns 3 Aqua Affinity book with the Projectile Protection and Mending book. You're also going to combine the Blast Protection and Fire Protection book with the Respiration and Prop 4 book. Then you want to combine the helmet with the book that has Thorns, Aqua Affinity, Projectile Protection, and Mending. And finally combine the helmet with the Blast Protection, Fire Protection, Respiration, and Prop 4 book. This is also when you should name the helmet, just before you combine the last book. You should now have a helmet with 9 enchantments on it, unless you decide to leave any out. It is also worth noting that just one piece of armor can cost around 92 levels, so make sure to have a good source of XP handy because this is going to be expensive. Now for the chestplate and the leggings. In this version these armor pieces don't have any exclusive enchantments, so they're both done the exact same way. First combine the armor piece with Unbreaking 3, then combine Protection 4 with Fire Protection 4, Blast Protection 4 with Mending, and Thorns with Projectile Protection 4. Next combine the armor piece with the Thorns and Projectile Protection book, and then combine the Blast Protection Mending book with the Protection 4 and Fire Prop book. Finally combine the armor piece with the Blast Protection, Mending, Protection, Fire Protection book, and don't forget to name it. You should have 7 enchantments on both the chestplate and the leggings. Now finally we have the boots, and here you have to decide between Frostwalker 2 or Depth Strider 3, as these enchantments are exclusive and cannot be put on the same pair of boots. Personally I prefer Depth Strider on my boots, so for this demonstration I'll be using Depth Strider. But if you want Frostwalker, it's exactly the same, just switch Depth Strider for Frostwalker. First you want to combine the boots and the Unbreaking 3 book together, then we combine Thorns 3 and Feather Falling 4, Projectile Protection 4 with Mending, Blast Protection 4 with Fire Protection 4, and Depth Strider 3 with Protection 4. Next we combine the Thorns Feather Falling book with the Projectile and Mending book, and combine the Blast Protection Fire Protection book with the Depth Strider and Protection book. Then we combine the Unbreaking boots with the Thorns Feather Falling Projectile Mending book, and finally the boots with the Blast Prot, Fire Prot, Depth Strider, and Protection 4 book. And once again, this is when you name the boots, which should finish with 9 enchantments on them. Now you have your very own set of God Armor. But before we move on to the next version where we can make this armor even better, this is where I have to mention Horse Armor. Now starting in 1.14, Horse Armor became enchantable, but for some reason this feature is only exclusive to creative mode. Maybe one day Horse Armor will become enchantable, but until then, if you're going to enchant some Horse Armor in creative mode, do it in 1.14, where you can combine all the different kinds of protection onto a Thorns and Feather Falling piece of armor, to basically create God Horse Armor. Now if you want to get this into your survival world without changing it to creative mode, there is technically a way to do it, and you can decide whether you find it cheaty or not. So what you do is in a separate creative world, you make the armor and put it in a chest in the Nether. Then you go to your world save files, and copy the creative mode's Nether file, which is the dim-1 folder. Then you go into your survival world save folder, make sure to make a backup of your Nether folder, and then replace it with the dim-1 folder from the creative world. Then when you log into your survival world and go to the Nether, you'll find that the Nether is the one from the creative world. Simply go into the chest, grab the armor, leave the Nether, and then put your original survival dim-1 folder back into your survival worlds folder. Alright, now that we have our God Armor, the next step is to update to release 1.19. Between 1.14 and 1.19, 2 new enchantments were added to the game, being Soul Speed for the boots, and Swift Sneak for the leggings. Now you should have no problem adding Soul Speed 3 to your boots, and Swift Sneak 3 to your leggings. Another reason why we stopped in this version is because of Netherite. Before 1.20, you didn't require a smithing template in order to turn diamond armor and tools to Netherite. You could just add it directly in the smithing table. This makes it far cheaper to turn all of your tools and armor into Netherite, as you don't have to duplicate the template using diamonds every time. So because of this is the version where we're going to create all of our tools as well, to fully optimize the cheaper cost of the Netherite. For all of these aside from the sword, no matter how you add the enchantments, you shouldn't get a too expensive cost. However, I would always recommend trying to combine books to save on XP. Starting with the pickaxe and the shovel, I usually make 2 of each of these tools, both with Mending, Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 5, and then 1 of each having Silk Touch and the other having Fortune 3. Next for the sword you can have Mending, Unbreaking 3, Looting 3, Sharpness 5, Fire Aspect 2, Knockback 2 and Sweeping Edge 3. In the case of the sword, you can get it to be too expensive, so a good order to combine the enchantments is to put the sword with Looting, Sharpness 5 with the Knockback 2, the Mending book with the Unbreaking book, and Sweeping Edge 3 with Fire Aspect 2. Then combine the Sharpness 5 and Knockback book with Mending and Unbreaking, and then that resulting book with the Sweeping Edge and Fire Aspect book. Finally, add the whole book to the Looting sword, and don't forget to name it. For the axe again I would make 2, both with Mending, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 5 and Sharpness 5, and then on one of them I would have Silk Touch and the other Fortune 3. And finally the hoe, I would have Mending, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 5 and Fortune 3. Now, once you have every tool upgraded to Netherite, it's time for our final update to the latest version of Minecraft. Now in the latest version of the game, we have the strongest set of tools and armor possible in the history of the game. And you can do whatever you like. To really flex, you could trim out your armor in Netherite, using the Silence Armor trim, which is widely agreed upon to be one of the rarest or hardest to get trims. But otherwise, that is going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Laters!